Hi, welcome back to the Sports Desk, getting right back into the postseason grind here. While the girls on the court in Torrance have had plenty to celebrate, for most of the boys around town, hasn't been quite as exciting. But that's not the case for all the boys. With team wrestling meets a thing of the past, Torrance's CJ Pistano and West's Yoshi Funakoshi advanced to this weekend's CIF State Championship meet. Pistano punched his ticket with the 7th place in the Masters 106-pound division, while Funakoshi, seeded 3rd overall, finished in 2nd place at 120 pounds. He got there facing two familiar foes, taking down La Quinta's number 2 seeded Roy Galvin, who had topped him last year. Yoshi gets the victory this time around, and then it was off to face Evan Wick in the final. Another wrestler he'd faced before and lost to, second time, not a charm, but Funakoshi still making his 2nd straight appearance in the state tournament anyway. And stick with us for a special feature in just a couple weeks with Yoshi and one of the people that's helped him build a successful wrestling career right here in the South Bay. Also on the West High campus, the Warrior girls soccer squad running deep into the postseason as well. Defense has been the name of the game leading into the semifinals appearance. 6 halves, 0 goals allowed by the Warriors. Their 19th shutout of the season accompanies a year in which the Warriors won the Bay League for the first time this century and are in the midst of their deepest playoff run since 2006. Now over on the South High campus, a CIF semifinal appearance is about as predictable as everybody in Southern California freaking out anytime it rains. The South Spartans have played in the CIF semifinal round since pretty much the Bush administration. Not the first one though, that'd be really impressive. Either way, after losing 15 seniors from last year's roster and handing the keys over to a new head coach, we literally looked at them and heading into the 2014 season and just said, well, guess they'll have to start from scratch. Didn't slow them down one bit though. After splitting the Pioneer League championship, the Spartans knocked out their first 3 Division IV wins to land in familiar territory. Wasn't an easy one. The second round matchup against Sierra Canyon went double OT, while a 2-1 win over Pauley Riverside has South back in the CIF semifinals, this time at home against Marymount. Now that wraps up our postseason picture this week on the show, but it's a busy school year. One sport's always wrapping up while another is just digging in. March means the crack of the bat, in our case the ping of the bat, is right in front of us. Last spring, the Pioneer League saw the closest race for a league title in the entire South Bay. With 1 week left, North, South, Torrance, and El Segundo were within a single game of each other in the standings. Convenient enough, all 4 teams were playing each other just to add to that little bit of drama, and the Tartars were the horse that came from behind down the stretch. Valerie Ortega meets this year's squad and shows us a 2-game sweep over North to close out the regular season didn't just put them in the mix for a Pioneer League title in 2013. It set a whole new world of expectations coming into 2014.
Baseball season is approaching, and the Torrance Tartars have been putting in the time and effort these past few weeks to get ready for games.
The offseason's going good. I think we prepared pretty well this offseason. We're all working hard. We all showed up to the weight room, and we're just putting in the work for this next upcoming season.
We're excited. The kids they've been in the weight room, and that's the biggest, the commitment level stepped up this year. So we're excited to see, hopefully that pays off usually when you get kids working hard and preparing as much as these kids have been in the off season. But you still got to get out there, and we still have a couple weeks here where we get to prepare for some games. But I'm proud of their efforts so far for sure.
Our season's going, it's amazing. We're just working hard out here, trying to get better. All these seniors just fired up, just trying to show these younger guys how to do it up here.
Last year, this Tartar team had a winning record, tied for first in the Pioneer League, and went to the playoffs. A lot of those players will be returning this season.
We like to believe that they learned a lot last year. They went through a lot of adversity and struggles, and now they're a year older and hopefully a little bit better. And the experience, like you said, should pay off, should pay dividends.
I think it's going to help a lot, with the experience and all the senior heavy players. It's gonna help a lot. With all the younger guys that are going to be on the team. I think it's going to help us succeed this year.
It's going to be amazing because this senior class has great leadership. We're all fired up, and we just want to go out with a bang.
This year, the Tartars have a very experienced team, full of juniors and seniors who have gained knowledge from playing multiple seasons here at Torrance. But with experience also comes expectation, and these Tartars are hoping that their hard work in the offseason will pay off.
I think we're going to handle it good. Like I said, working hard in the offseason, that's going to pay off. And, the expectations just obviously do better than we did last year. And I think we're going to be up for the challenge.
there's definitely some more pressure we're putting on them, especially this senior group. We expect them to, be able to police each other a little bit as far as what their expectations of each other are in practice, mainly. And then in game situations, they can anticipate a little bit of what we as coaches expect. And like I said, we're excited. We're excited about all that. These senior guys have been good ball players for since they were little, and this is a good group of kids, and they're excited about their senior year. And I know the campus is getting behind them, and everybody's excited to come out to the games. Everybody's in spring training mode around, and the sun's out right now, so it's good. So I expect that experience to pay off.
With all this experience, Torrance looks to have a great season. From Torrance, this is Valerie Ortega reporting for the Sports Desk.
Thanks for that, Valerie. So the Tartars leading off the season this weekend in the annual El Segundo tourney. They've got a date with Palos Verdes. Their chase for a Pioneer League banner gets underway middle of April with a double dip against co-champ South. Also on the diamond, the El Camino Warriors enjoying their first hot streak of the year as we head into a new week. 2 is a winning streak. 4 means you're just straight up getting hot. Back-to-back wins over Santa Barbara. February 18th, the Warriors were a game under 500. Now, with the 3-game set against Cerritos this week, they are coming in with an 8-5 record on the season. So we'll see if that hot streak reaches NBA Jam levels of catching fire. All right, everybody, break number 2 of the day. Stick around because when we come back, we meet the biggest name in training, some of the world's best and sometimes scariest athletes. Former pro fighter Mike Dolce comes to Torrance next.
Being a gold medalist skier requires a lot of hard work, intense training, and time outside on the mountain. But taking care of my skin is easy and doesn't affect my performance. Every day I apply sunscreen and wear protective gear. I know protecting my skin will help prevent skin cancer and avoid wrinkles. I get my skin checked regularly by a dermatologist. 1 in 5 Americans will develop some form of skin cancer in their lifetime. My name is Julia Mancuso and I'm wearing orange to help put a spotlight on skin cancer.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
Hi, welcome back to the Sports Desk. Our next story is about a coach who's a professional athlete, but he was really only an athlete so he could someday become a coach. You still with me? Nowadays, MMA is one of the fastest growing professional sports in the world, and the Ultimate Fighting Championship is its biggest success, breeding stars left and right. Rampage Jackson was a light heavyweight champion before he was Mr. T. Chael Sonnen is currently the premier heavyweight champion of the world in Talking Smack, and coincidentally, a top 10 fighter in the same organization. Ronda Rousey, America's first woman to win an Olympic medal in judo, starring in the Fast and the Furious 42, or whatever number we're on with that, not just a superstar and my Valentine last month, also UFC's current bantamweight title holder. Just 3 massive stars in an intense sport. Their demand outside of the octagon sparked by wild success inside it, but the one common thread between these 3 fighters and many others earning unanimous decisions on Saturday nights, in order to win those titles on pay-per-view, the best of the best in UFC keep picking up the phone to call one man. What does it take to go from high school wrestler to a tax assessor with a healthy salary in your mid-20s, to a janitor of a gym, to the world's most sought-after trainer? Before I met Mike Dolce, I knew him as the name behind the Dolce diet and the face of UFC Fit, an icon in the study of nutrition for athletes, and the first number most professional MMA fighters call when it's time to get prepared for a fight. Within 5 minutes of our first handshake, I knew why.
I'm the coach of the world's greatest athletes. They only hire me because I help them gain an advantage and allows them to achieve their dreams. It's almost embarrassing. Instead of being proud, it's very humbling. Like, I appreciate any sort of success or accolades that we get. Like, this is just what I do. It's what I've done for free for decades.
And here in Torrance, visiting UFC gym members and inspiring them to get fit and healthy, it's easy to see him for his success. His success as a former UFC fighter, or his success with the worldwide popularity of the Dolce diet. Well, he'll be the first to tell you it was his struggles that made him a master of maximizing human performance.
It's wrong, right? It's backwards. Fighting for $500, $1,000 to cover the mortgage because I was making $32 a day cleaning toilets and then coaching 40 of the world's greatest athletes for free. That was the passion. So I was literally doing this for free as a professional. And then I was fighting professionally, but training part-time.
In 2010, Dolce was the architect of a 45-pound, 8-week weight cut for Quentin Rampage Jackson's UFC 114 fight. And in a sport where cutting weight means doing anything from running in garbage bags to fasting, stepping on the scales in your weight class, and being at 100% on fight night, 24 hours later is as much an art as it is a science. So, Mike Dolce's phone hasn't stopped ringing since.
When I work with these elite athletes, these high-level athletes, I try and make it very clear to them in the Olympics. The difference between first and last place is a blink of an eye. What makes this difference? It's the small little decisions they make every day. Either takes them one step closer or one step farther away from their goal at a world-class level, and I try and help remind them of that.
Mike Dolce is one of those people that helps you see pretty easily how success on the mat, the field, the court, whatever it is the same as success in any other aspect of life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Nowadays, wherever there's a UFC champion, there's likely a Mike Dolce leading the way. And truth is, wherever there's a champion anywhere, there's a guru, a coach, somewhere that made it all possible. True story about Mike Dolce. He tells me Grandma Dolce has the exact same grocery list as his professional fighters. No joke. So the man in all his infinite wisdom isn't just saving it for title contenders. You can learn all about his fitness and nutrition philosophies, the same things he does to help UFC athletes stay healthy with a tour through the internet. The Dolce Diet, livinglean.com. It covers everything from healthy wedding weight loss to news about what he's working on with his MMA clients. And a reminder for anybody who hasn't caught our episode of Common Sense at UFC Gym, right here in Torrance, that's still airing daily at 8:30 p.m. on CitiCABLE 3. And if you really can't get enough Wan, because I know some people can't, come hang with us online, like our Facebook page, drop in and say hi, check out photos during the week when we're covering games around town, even some behind-the-scenes shots here in the studio. Plenty more to keep you entertained from our family here at CitiCABLE 3. All right, everybody, that wraps up another week. We will see you next time.